Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So I wanted to talk about the banners here. We have the two dual Dokkan Fest banners for the fourth part of the Dragon Ball Superhero Celebration. Now, I would say I probably don't expect more superhero characters to be coming probably for a while. I mean, there is still definitely a lot more they could take from the movie. In particular, Beast Gohan certainly needs another character, right? Like, I mean, I'll try and steer away from the negativity around, it only being his active skill as much as I can in this video, but without a doubt, we need another Beast Gohan, right? There's, Gamma 2, Cell Max does deserve a character. I've seen a lot of people talk about how they don't really see Cell Max as, like, a character that would get something. And it's like, Fat Janemba has a Dokkan Fest. Like, I think Cell Max could easily be a Dokkan Fest exclusive or an LR. That giant, colorful, sort of like Spirit Bomb type attack that he does against Beast Gohan, that could certainly be like an LR or something like that. And it could probably look very, very good as an animation, right? So I do think that we'll still see a lot more superhero characters, but it might be for a little bit, right? So with these banners, you have to understand that, like, this is really going to be, I think, like, the biggest hype. Well, I don't know. Probably the big... when we get, like, like, a standalone Beast Gohan who's, like, on the banner, looking like this, like, on the banner, that is going to be crazy. It's probably not going to be for a little while, though. I do think maybe the chance of him being, like, the 9th anniversary headliner to me seems very plausible. I think there's a really good chance of something like that, right? Like Beast Gohan, and then maybe like Cell Max or something could certainly be the case. So if you're thinking about that, though, it would bring us to this banner. Now, to me, I look at this banner, and I think that, like, if this was just a standalone Beast, this would sort of, like, this would fly, because he's just going to be, like, the pinnacle of hype. But it's not really what we're looking for out of him. And then, like, let's just remove him from the equation and look at the rest of what we got here. This sucks. It's just, this is awful. Trunks and Goten. This is probably one of the worst releases ever, I think. I mean, I don't know if I actually want to say that, because banner units have had a long history of not really being that great. Right? Usually I feel like these types of characters have never really been that exceptional. This year, we've had a lot that actually are supremely good. But this unit just will do nothing. If you pull this character, this unit is not going to lead you to victory in the really toughest fights or anything like that. I think the best asset that this Trunks and Goten have is their presence on weaker categories, right? So we're going to get a burst mode around, like, time limit, or there will be some EZA that will be weak to, like, STR fuse fighters. Stuff like that is where this character will potentially be solid, right? They have their seal, they have their stats. Because, like, this unit doesn't really compete that well, I think, in, like, Red Zone style content, but they're certainly better on, again, some of these weaker teams like Time Limit than, like, a lot of the older fusions that released years ago and shit like that. So it's like, I guess we do need to understand that, right? A team like Fusion just has so few characters on it completely that Trunks and Goten could put in some work, right? But overall, this is not what you would, like, you're not going to pull them and go like, oh, damn, yeah, like, now I got a real shot against Cell Max. Now the Metal Cooler Course, I'm coming for him. Probably not. Although, to be fair, Cell Max specifically, they do increased damage, right? Any of the superhero characters against the Cell Max fight are going to perform pretty well. AGL Cell, he's, like, good, but, I mean, he has fallen out of the top 10 TURs. Much better TURs exist. AGL Cell's problem, I mean, it was like this on release. I was telling people on release that a lot of people are overrating this guy because he's just really ineffective until he becomes perfect. Perfect Cell is still supremely good, but it takes a long time to get there. Cell just sucks until he becomes perfect. He has key issues. He's not linking well. There's no real other good Cell to take advantage of it. He's just not really going to help you that much. Kid Buu is still, like, powerful. He could put up numbers. He also doesn't really have a spot, right? Like, you have two characters here that don't really have spots. Like, you run Cell's own team, but his own team, Cell has one of the worst 200% teams by far. It's not even close, right? It's like Cell's team was good back when there was, 4 200% teams in the game or something like that. Yeah, because Cell was what? 3, 4. Cell was the dual Dokkan Fest with Cell and Goku and Gohan. That was what, the 5th and 6th 200% team. So back then it's like, oh, okay, there's barely any of these, but now there's just way better teams. Fat Janemba is okay. This is a character you could use in some spots. I do see a lot of people overrate him, but like, he's not. I mean, considering how old this character is now, 2 years old, I think Fat Janemba. Honestly, yeah, I should change my tone. Considering how runnable he is, we could say he's exceptional because it's 2 years since he came out, right? Like, we have not yet gotten. There's no 2020 characters that have EZA'd, right? I don't think so. No, there's not. No 20. The oldest, the newest character that has EZA'd, I believe, is STR Cooler. No other character has EZA'd past STR Cooler, who was October of 2019. So we're probably still ways away from this guy's EZA, but he's still effective. They suck. They're not great. Gotenks sucks. He's not great. Future Gohan sucks. He's not great. Perfect Cell sucks. He's not great. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's okay. He got his EZA. I mean, we're closing in on a year ago now. He can be run in some situations, right? Like, he's a strong STR unit. You could run him against, the Metal Cooler Core or something like that. But Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, he's not like some game changer. So it's like, you look at this banner and it's like, sucks, 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 sucks. Okay, 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 okay. Pretty much sucks. And then like Ultimate Gohan, as negative as I am about this card, and most are, he would qualify as a great unit, right? Like, this Gohan is certainly within the top. Gohan might be like top, maybe like 15 or top 10-ish, more so. I certainly think there's a substantial gap between him and Piccolo. Potentially the biggest gap we've ever seen between, I think, like, sort of like dual Dokkan Fest Titans like this. While I do like this Gohan, he does feel weaker. It just feels like he's like kind of incomplete. This right here, the biggest problem with him is easily this portion of his passive right here. This is where the issues lie. So many characters, such as Final Form Cooler, Gamma 2, they build up in the same fashion, but it's with attacks. Actually, you know what? I always like to show, not just tell. We'll just pull up Final Form Cooler, because Final Form Cooler is probably the closest comparison to Gohan. Or actually, maybe Gamma 2 is... Actually, Gamma 2 is probably a better comparison to Gohan. But it's like this. Literally, yeah. See, this is what Gohan's line should be, is exactly this. Cooler gets Ki up to 5, and then he builds up his attack and defense up to 100% with each attack performed. Now, Gohan can get higher stats. He gets 30% up to 150, but the Ki kills him. And it's attack performed for Cooler. Gohan has to do super attacks, which is really fraudulent on this character, because he struggles for Ki, but like, he needs to get to 20 Ki to get this additional, which isn't even a guaranteed super. It's a 70% chance to be a super. And then at 24 Ki, he's super effective against all types. This is a huge RNG character. I don't know how often people are going to speak on it, but again, UI Goku is a big RNG character defensively. He dodges, you're winning, right? Gohan is an RNG character offensively. With his link set and with this right here, you are just hoping for good luck for orbs, so he can get 20 Ki or 24 Ki, and then you need good luck for him to get his super attacks to build up, or else he is a fraud. So he's a very heavily offensive RNG character. Cooler is offense RNG as well, but Cooler to me feels much more consistent than Gohan. It's not even close, right? So I don't know. They didn't make Gohan good enough. So it's like, Gohan, while he's good, this is a Dokkan Fest LR. These are supposed to be like top 3 on release, or top 5, right? Like, Gohan just does not feel good enough. And his banner is so bad. There's no value on this banner. Up to this point, I mean, some people could say, oh, well, I've had a lot of fun using him. That's great for you. Awesome. I have not had the most fun using this Gohan. Matter of fact, I look at this banner, I wouldn't say there's any fun characters here, really. I don't know. Kid Buu is probably the most fun here, maybe, but like he doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a setup. There's nowhere to use him. So it's like, this is just one of the worst banners they've ever released for like a Dokkan Fest LR. This is terrible. Terrible. This would have been completely fine if it was standalone Beast Gohan #1 in the game, but he's not. So it's kind of ass. Now then we switch over to Piccolo's banner. And it's a much better story over here. This banner, I think, is significantly better. You can have your issues with the Goku and Gohan unit, sure. Goku is, without a doubt, stronger than first form and second form Cell, with his dodging and stuff like that. Gohan, once you exchange into him, can be very good, although it's a little bit iffy until he takes a couple of hits. Physical Super Saiyan 3, he's just a glass cannon offensive unit at this point. But, I mean, he can do good damage. He will give you more than Kid Buu, I guess, because unlike Kid Buu, who doesn't have any teams, this guy's on 5, 6, 7, 200% teams or something. Like, he's on, like, so many teams, right? Tech Gogeta is really like, the gap between Tech Gogeta and this character is, it's stunning, dude. Stunning. Tech Gogeta is actually, like red zone viable if you play smartly, right? And you're playing for his scouter and stuff like that. Kid Gohan can be effective in red zone. Certainly not one of the strongest characters, but with his support and stuff like that, his stacking, you can utilize him. PICCON, impressive like Janemba in that it's 2 years since release, and you could still find very effective ways to use him with his support, his dodging, his Ghost Usher. Exchange Buu, I'm not a fan of. AGL Kid Gohan, LR Gohan, I feel like he's kind of like, he's just a fraud at this point. Like, it's just too many years since he's come out. By the way, I mean, I guess if in LR Cell and AGL Gohan, if they EZA this month, things could change, which I do think there's a decent chance. As of right now, there has been no EZA announced from the Superhero Celebration. I would imagine there is going to be an EZA. The Gogeta and Broly EZAs are for New Year's, right? I think we will still see one from the Superhero Celebration, so we'll see. It could be AGL Gohan and Int Cell. And then Super Saiyan 4 Goku, him and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta are so close right now. They're pretty much the same unit. I think the only difference is really their typing, pretty much. So, like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we want to bring him against a very tough STR boss. And then, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, we could bring him against the tough physical bosses, right? With type advantage. But then that brings us to the two new characters. It's a joke. Piccolo, I think, is the best unit in the game. There were people who wanted Piccolo to be #1, better than Beast Gohan. A lot of people who are memeing about it, but I would say it is the case. Now, Piccolo, in his Power Awakening form, he is very solid. From what I've seen, I think people might be overrating him a bit defensively, but he's very good, right? It's just like, a lot of times, he is going to be at his best in slot 2. I think there's going to be a lot of situations you can get away with running him in slot 1. But, like, he's not... I wouldn't feel as comfortable with this guy, potentially, in slot 1, as I would Vegeta and Trunks or... Carnival LR Goku, right? But, I mean, we'd see what happens. Once he super attacks, though, he should be looking super good. But he has a lot to him. This right here, the chances of getting this is very iffy. But if you do, he is undisputed, like, strongest in the game. Once that damage reduction buffs up to 50%, he gets the Senzu. It's crazy. But the thing about Piccolo here, his transformation in Orange Piccolo, this is the strongest active skill in the game. Piccolo is just relentless in his orange form, doing so much damage. Relentless super after attack after attack after super after attack. It's just so crazy. I think Piccolo's #1. And he does have a little bit of support and stuff like that as well. Piccolo is strong. And, dude, again, a lot of value in buffing bad teams. I think Piccolo, Gohan, and Trunks and Goten all have this advantage of being on teams that need help. I mean, look at Gohan. Exploding Rage, Connected Hope, Miraculous Awakening, right? Like, full power. Like, these are teams that need help. And the same with Piccolo. Revenge, Rapid Growth, Battle Wits, Connected Hope, Powerful Comeback. Like, these are all teams that could use help. So they are massive there. And then talking about Pan, I think Pan is very strong. She's a better banner unit. Not quite as good as I would have hoped. I think the issue for that is this right here. You know what they should have... I'll tell you, here's what they could have done and should have done. Maybe she'd be super busted or what. Right now, she has a 60% chance to dodge against one enemy. I think, I mean, if like she gets that first dodge and then she has guaranteed dodges for like the rest of the turn or something like that, I think could be really crazy. I don't know, something like that. Maybe if they're going to do that, maybe tone down her damage, or at least give her like the exponential defensive increase that maybe like STR Whis can get. If she dodges, I think the problem with this character, they were looking really good, and then they decided to give her crits right here, which I think like takes a little bit of her potential down, because Dokkan very heavily values crits. I think if they got rid of that crit ability and gave her more defense, she would be a far more effective unit. Still pretty good, but this crit, it just bogs her down. It's worthless on this character. Like, that's not what we're looking for out of Pan, is for her to crit. That's not ideal, right? She's still very good, though. A very strong support type unit with a 60% chance to dodge is pretty good. So you get to it where, if we're comparing, like, dude, Gohan's banner, there's like nothing. There's literally nothing. Whereas Piccolo's banner, you have like scattered red zone options all over the place here. Piccolo is so much better than Gohan. Pan is so much better than Trunks and Goten, and nearly every option here, you compare them to their counterpart, and this banner is like better. It's crazy. I feel like that this is one of like the most unbalanced releases they've ever done. Everything involving Piccolo compared to everything involving Gohan. Gohan got completely dicked by Dokkan, and Piccolo got completely jerked off by Dokkan. It's so weird. So let me know what you guys think. If you're on JP, I highly recommend you probably skip. Piccolo is number one. The chances Piccolo is number one in a month and a half are pretty low. Anniversary units usually are the best. I think Piccolo probably will be replaced. I mean, it's not like he's going to fall off, but he will be replaced. So if you're a JP player, you probably want to be aware of that. Global players, like, you could summon if you want to. I mean, but it's just like these banners aren't really super crazy. If you are going to summon, you want to summon for Piccolo, because Piccolo is better, and Piccolo has a much better banner. It's so much better, I think, than this crap. So, like, these guys sell, like, Gotenks, Future Gohan. These are not legitimate options these days, man. Not really. So, let me know what you guys think of the banners. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.